I had never seen a being until that moment. And when he said this is for real and that we're going to figure out what to do about it, basically.
How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Living the dream, buddy. Living the dream, mate.
We all are.
Yeah, yeah. Just planning my trip to Wales, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I just can't wait to get out there, meet this lady again, Karen, and just spend a couple of days in that area. There's just no light pollution. There's no one around, and lots and lots of sky. So we're just going to be filming and hopefully calling them in if we can. She seems to be a gifted lady, so you know,
Well, that's nice.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
this the remote? Is this the remote viewing lady you were talking about?
Yeah, yeah, and that's only something she's tapped into in the last sort of year and a half, I would say.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
got with a friend who does it as well, and she's really proficient at it actually. But she's a bit of a loose cannon, so she kind of goes in there and keeps her, pulls her out when she needs to pull her out, sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, they're amazing people, and they've just like yourself, they just got nothing to prove. You know,
Yeah.
they just
You're just trying to help. You don't
yeah,
care what anybody says. I
literally,
don't care what anybody
she's
says.
helped so many people and not charged a penny, and
Right.
then after all these years, she finds me or I find her or whatever.
Which
And
I find amazing. A lot of people follow people that are making money, like Dr. Greer, and they're all making a fortune off this. And then you guys
the
say,
numbers.
where is his credential? He's a doctor. How
Hmm.
is he some UFO expert? He's never even been in the federal government to be around these or no, that's how I look at people, what have you done in the past? And how are you such an expert? But it's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I
honestly, it's
mean,
fine.
some
The
of
more
it's some
eyes
of it's a good
on this,
watch,
the better.
Some of it's a good watch, and the numbers really do talk volumes. I've said for a long time, pretty much from day one, the channel that I've made here, with all the research and evidence that's come in, it's way ahead of its time. Like you'd think the channel's been around for years. It's not even been 1 year yet. So
Right.
um yeah, we're a little bit ahead of schedule in terms of where we should be, and uh but it's not big numbers yet, so anyway,
It'll
that's
get
neither
there.
here nor there.
Yeah, it'll get there, man. I mean,
Yeah,
when people know that they're hearing the truth, they tune in and they share.
well, that's what
So,
counts.
and then we're not here to make some mockery of the situation. We're just here to help. So let all the detractors say what they want to say. They don't know me,
Yeah,
right? And I give them credit. Hey, you want to be, do your due diligence. If you don't believe things you hear, then don't believe them. I'm not here to convince anybody. You're not here to convince anybody. We're
mhm.
putting the facts out there. If you don't like the facts, move along.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good message. And to be honest with you, like I always said it, people are going to miss out. If they want to move along, they're only going to miss out on what's actually out there. And there's
Right.
nothing we can do about that except continue what we're doing, right? And
Yes,
that's
sir.
our plan. So we had a great interview, Eddie, and welcome back on the show, mate, because
No. Thank you for having me back.
it's going to be, I think it's going to be a regular thing, right? We've got so much to go over. But you had a bit of a revelation after watching the interview we done. You saw one of the
Yes.
comments.
Yes.
Gobstopper put a comment in there, and he's normally quite a negative commenter. He normally's always negative,
That's
um,
fine.
but his negative comment ended up being a real positive spin, right?
It did.
Because he
It sure
mentioned a
did.
name, and he
He
thought you were
said,
just copying him, right? He just thought you was copying Skinny Bob, and you was.
yes, that's the video. And I had forgotten that that's what they had called that video on the internet because that's not what we called it. But I remember that is the leaked video we were talking about. The only problem with that video that I watched that
Mhm.
you and I had gone over, it's missing some pieces.
Sure.
There's like two clips that I distinctly remember that are not there. They showed the two craft, like I told you, they were flying, but there was one scene that we saw where they were bam and bam, and it was crystal clear, even though it
Wow.
was kind of grainy, but it was like a perfect boom and boom offshoot of
Sure.
where they were. And then that alien by itself, is that who they're calling Skinny Bob? That
Yes.
alien guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in the clip, we saw the other ones coming off of the craft at the landing site, right? And they were colorized. Well, it's missing. The skinny Bob guy was in color, and that's where I got the color from.
Wow. Okay. I was going to ask, yeah, like because that's a black and white video, right? So the file you sent me is just part of the video, and then the one you sent me on the YouTube, the link you sent me was
Yeah.
what got put out there, and you said things were added to that as well, right?
Yeah, there's sound there, that wasn't in the I mean, so someone's altered it a little bit. The
Right.
video itself is not changed, right? Other than, like I said, there's two pieces missing of that video that I
Sure.
sent you. The two craft that were identical and staggered like so flying, and then the colorized version of that little tiny guy.
Wow. Right. Okay. And that really does sort of, it shows in your picture, and I'm pulling this all up now as we're talking so that people can see the video and the picture. Saves us a bit of time actually. We can talk more about it if I just
Right.
overlay it over the interview. But yeah, the picture you painted, I actually went through my mind and I went, wow, they all look very. Everyone's got that image of these things, right? I mean, that's what, like you say, Spielberg and everyone depicted these things looking like that. And then you say
Right.
you've seen one on a video which your captain was talking to you about in the skiff. Is that
Right. That is correct.
he's
He
showing
said
me
it was
this
a
video saying there's a leaked video. This,
he said it was a leaked video
yeah.
and that he wanted us all to watch it. And remember, I told you it was a KGB. And there's two blacked out bars on that video entrance that I showed you at the
Uh-huh.
beginning that were not there. They were not
Right.
blacked out when we saw it. And then after he showed us the video, him and the counter intel guy went into the boardroom meeting, closed the door. So, what was there to talk about? I don't know. And then when he came back, he basically didn't even talk about anything. I was too busy doing what I was doing as far as my deployments in Iraq were going.
Sure.
I had all that stuff going on. So I was a little too busy to ask him, and I never got around back to asking him. It was commonplace that we talked about these things. So
Yeah.
there was no urgency, like, oh, I got to know. Because frankly, I gave a shit. I just knew I was in a crazy, weird job with crazy, weird shit going on. you know?
But
And
does
then
it?
and then to put it all off, we had all this military shit going on. 99% of the time was just military. We had that 1% it was screwball. I called it screwball factory. I told my wife I couldn't tell her what was going on, but
Mm,
I'm like, hope today's not a screwball factory day. And
mm,
that's what I meant when I would say those things, because I'd go in and it'd be like, man, this is the screwiest stuff in the world. What are we doing? It made you nervous.
mm. And I bet, like, for you, you knew that that 1% was going on all the time. And so
Yes,
you're going on with your daily, and you must think in the back of your mind, shit, I wonder what is going on right now. Like,
all the time.
regarding that topic. Yeah.
All you'd hear everybody. The funny thing is, people don't realize when you're in intelligence, you're surrounded by buildings that are all intelligent. So when you go out in the courtyard and there's picnic tables and you're sitting around drinking your pop and soda or whatever the hell people call it, smoking, doing whatever, people are talking, man, and it's not even a big deal, right? People talk. So you could kind of get numb to the fact. Like I had an instructor in my school who worked out of White Sands, New Mexico, and he told me flat out at 4:30 in the morning, boom, boom, out the top of the mountain, boom, boom. I'm like, what the fuck is boom, boom? And he's like, well, he goes, you're from Detroit, foreign car, domestic car. So you're kidding me? He said, no. He goes, Abbott, you're going to find out. There's a lot of weird stuff in this damn world.
Mm.
And that was where we left it. So that's White Sands, New Mexico. And his name was Mr. Fialo. And he was part of the Army. He had retired out of the Army and became an instructor at the intelligence school. Nice guy, liked me very much, probably because I finished top of my class. So everybody kind of like, they saw there was this guy's going to go somewhere. So,
Yeah.
and I got flipped coins all the time for breaking records and this and that. Not bragging about myself at all. I mean it. I don't give a shit about any of that. What I'm saying is, it opened the door for me to have friendly conversations with people that other soldiers did not get the opportunity to have.
Sure.
And everywhere I went, because I was older, remember now, I left a good job. I was 36 years old. They looked at me not like they looked at everybody else. It was Abbott for this, Abbott for that. Abbott run this shit. Abbott take care of that problem. Abbott run these barracks. That's how it was handled because I was older, right? And I had my head on. I had kids.
Yeah.
I gave up a life to join to help.
I mean, it's important that you say that because it shows that you can be relied upon.
Yes.
It shows you can be relied upon. Not only that, you got kept busy, right? You didn't just earn your ranks and got to where you got to just because you passed an exam. Like you put
no,
in
and then they took my rank because of what happened. They literally Article 15'd me with some bogus trumped up shit, and I had to earn it back before I went from E5 down to E nothing like that because I went in as an E3. 2 years later, I'm an E5. A lot of people go, "Oh, that's bullshit." It's called fast tracking, and that's what happened with me. And then they took it when that UFO thing, and then the head injury, wounded warrior, and then in the wounded warrior they built me back up. Before I was out, I got up back up to an E4, and then my pay grade went to an E5 in my retirement. Thank God.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah, I've been through hell, bro.
I was going to ask you a stupid question from my part, but it won't be so stupid from anyone else who's never known any of this and is just watching you for the first time. Have you got any documentation to show that you worked at this place or you went up to an E4 or an E5, anything to show that this is what happened to you? I'm sure
I do. It's all in the filing cabinet. Had you told me before, I could have brought my DD-214 out and showed you everything. Overseas service, everything.
Just send me pictures and I'll add it in.
Yeah, no problem. I can show you all my certs from. I'm a FEMA certified guy. I can show you all my military training certs, all my awards. I can show you everything you need to know. I'm who I am.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's just for the audience. But I will just overlay it over everything you just told me. Then I will just put it in, so people can see that. And
it's all in that closet next to me. It's in like picture frame.
So I mean, in your view, and obviously you just had a conversation with your captain in the skiff.
Yes.
And he's just turned around and said, "This is a leaked video of what did he say? It was a real ET?"
He didn't say when he said that. He just said, "I want everybody to come here and everybody turn around and come here and watch this." And then he turned and said, "This is a leaked video. What are we going to do about it? We got to figure out what we're going to do." I'm paraphrasing because obviously we're talking 2008. My memory for the exact words aren't going to be there, but it was to that point there. What can we do about this? We got to figure out what to do about it. And I told you, remember seeing the KGB come up and going, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah.
Right? Why do we care? Obviously, it has something to do with us. But then when it was over, that was everybody go back to work, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, so that's in that moment when he's turned around to you and said, "This is a leaked video." You must have gone, "Shit, this is real." For him to even say that's leaked, that must be real. Because why would it be on his radar, right?
Exactly. And he wasn't one of them kind of guys that you would think would like kid around. He was dead serious kind of guy. You know what I mean? You get intense people, and that was him.
And it wasn't April the 1st by any chance.
No.
Just in case, man. Just in case.
Not a chance.
Yeah. I mean,
no sense of humor in some of those people. Believe me, he was one of them, man.
He was straight. Yeah. I mean, I know these army guys, man. They're in their own world. It's like scientists, man. It's like talking to a different type of human. When you're talking to a scientist, military are the same. You're like talking to the hardest stone you can find.
Right. And then you got to remember, officers all hold degrees in something. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
Like I might walk by and salute, say, a colonel, and I don't know what he might be a psychologist, he might be a doctor, he could be an engineer. You never know.
Could be
But they're in
something.
those positions for a reason. So
Yeah.
you don't end up in a division unless you belong in that division or in that platoon or in that part of the building, like S3. You don't end up in that room unless you are highly skilled and you possess things that the Army needs you to possess to break things the way they need to get broken.
Hmm. Which makes sense. And again, adds credibility to your story. And mate, that's kind of the point of Skinny Bob and why I wanted to cover that part today, because really, really, that's a big thing. If people can see that there's added credibility to Skinny Bob's story, I think that's a big thing, and it may open up other doors of investigation towards just that particular video. And I hope, yeah, people grip what you're saying and they take it on board, because whether they believe it or not, you were there, right? You got
Was
asked,
there.
the
You
credentials are
can't
there.
you can't
Um,
replace being somewhere with anything.
yeah, and if this was planned out, we would have mentioned it in the previous interview, right? Like this is literally
Right.
planned out because of someone made a comment and it just hit home with you. So there you
Yeah.
go. You have
The
it.
negative guy said something and oh man, it triggered in me that was my kids even knew what it was called. Like all my older kids, they knew what it was called. I think they had told me in the past, Dad, that's Skinny Bob is what you saw. Because I told them what the guy looked like.
Mhm.
And yeah, when he said Skinny Bob, it was like, man, I remember my daughter Kennedy saying Skinny Bob all the time. So yeah, then I checked the video out and it was it, man.
Sure,
That
man.
was definitely the video that we saw.
I mean, you could tell from the video the way that you say the eyelids move.
Yeah, that's real.
It's just crazy stuff. Like it wouldn't be puppeteering back then. I mean, how many years ago is this?
Well, I swear to you that timestamp was in somewhere between 59 and 61 in there. I'm trying to remember the exact, but you're reading Roman numerals on the bottom, and it was somewhere in the early 60, I think it was, if I remember correctly. And they had no electronics that would do that. They had no puppets that could do that. We had nothing. I mean, you're looking at a basic society that had like, if you had a puppet, it was a puppet, and you freaking knew it was a puppet. The eyelids move. And there was another thing in the color video. You could see texture in the skin, like bumps, like blemishes. Or I remember a blemish on the side of his head. That's why I painted it. I remember he had
Yeah.
a nice blemish right here. I don't know if it was an injury, but in color, it was very pinkish, right? And the skin was the whitest green, but this blemish here, and he had another one over here, and they weren't symmetrical.
Yeah.
They were not, it wasn't like both
Yeah.
sides
Yeah.
of the head. So what? It looked like he had an injury here and over here, just by the where the ear should have been, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that distinctly. And I remember what that guy hit his head or that little guy, and I saw you could see his eyes moving, and then the wrinkles of skin were. I'm telling you, this thing was real in the way he moved. And in the color video, he did more than just what they had. They had him like standing there, and then he turned around, right? And both arms went up, and both arms, dude, that was. I'm a big, tough dude. That scared the living shit out of me. I can't ever shake what I saw. I tell you now, it kind of takes your reality and says, forget it. Because whatever you've been living is a total lie. And it's, I mean, it's harsh. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think any of the people in the room were expecting what we saw. And now we've seen craft, yes. We analyze craft. We talk about the signals. We talk about the communication from the Cunha Tunnel. I had never seen a being until that moment. And when he said this is for real and that we're going to figure out what to do about it, basically,
Mhm.
everybody, that was just the quietest room I've ever sat in my life.
Wow.
I mean, quiet. Like nobody knew what to say.
Well, it's like
One
everyone's
of
reality just got shook, right?
Yeah, one of the sergeants, she was like this. It was bad, man. People just and it took we literally were told after it was over, okay, go back to work. I think everybody exited the skiff. I shit you not, and went their own separate ways, Burger King or whatever across the street. Everybody had decompressed. It was like shocking. The video was about 11, 12 minutes long.
Wow.
That's so
Much
we got
longer.
to see like I said, when he was by himself in the color, they made him turn. And I don't know where he, but there was a white room, but I remember him turning. I remember that black suit looked like it was sucked to his body. And you could tell all the contours as he moved, they moved like this was for real. The fingers moved. You could see the knuckle. This was no puppeteering. The eyes, the mouth even did this a couple times. It was really freaking spooky, my friend.
That's incredible, man. And that's exactly what we needed to hear is, for me, if that story was to have happened, you guys would have had the shock of your lives. You would have had to have had your recoup moment afterwards. You would have had to have gathered your thoughts. It's totally like as I would have expected. Yeah. If anything, I would have half expected one of you to have maybe got referred to someone for some psychological treatment because that's
It was
crazy
spooky.
stuff.
It was life altering evidence that we
Yeah.
were what the craft. What it did was brought perspective to the craft that we would talk about, cover up, monitor.
Hmm.
That we're not just looking at. It's like say you're from space and you're looking down at the cars and you're thinking, oh, we've discovered life. Though the
Hmm.
cars aren't the life, right? We already talked about this. What's in the cars is the life. So what we do with this UFO field, what everybody in the planet's doing, we're looking at the cars.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm tired of looking at the cars, basically, at this point. But what we saw in that video brought home the cars aren't empty.
Whole new thing.
They're not empty,
No, they're not. They're
right?
not. And this
So,
leads on. This leads on to the next topic, which is the captures that the audience are bringing in and emailing to me, right?
yes,
And I showed you quite a few after our first interview. And man, again, one just hit home with you. Well, a lot of them did, but one you was just booming about. And I knew you would get
yeah,
excited about at least one of them, right? Because I kind of knew
right,
what was there, but you really went into detail. And I was kind of like, whoa, okay, we've got to show this again. So I'm going to show it now again. I'll just overlay the video.
okay,
Alex in Surrey sent this in to me last year, and it's a simple hockey puck, or what I call a hockey puck. Others will know it as a Dragon UAP, but ultimately it's a micro UAP flying through the air, and I think it's tagging or reconning, or it has something to do with the bird that it passes, right? And you looked at the
right,
clip, and it's a fairly basic clip, but in a moment, or in moments, we managed to get it to show itself, like the
right,
we get to see the inner parts. And I'm just going to pull this up for you now. So I'll share the screen so that you can see the image we're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, let me actually pull it out first.
That'd be helpful. I'm old, remember. I have to see things. You get my age, man. 54 this month, buddy.
Yeah, man. This month, huh?
July 24th.
24th, mate. Well, I'm sure I'll speak to you before then, but if I don't, I wish you all the best. Right.
Yeah, 54. Wow. I tell my wife every day it's hard to be this good looking, man.
Oh, mate. Real life problems, huh?
Right?
Oh, there's that bad boy.
Yeah. That
Okay,
is.
so I sent this clip. Obviously, I've just shown the clip. I sent you some still photos and some enhancements of what I done, and you just went, "Oh my God, I've got to enhance it some more." And you went into all these contrast details. And
Yeah. This looks like one of my
yeah,
filters.
this
I
is
can see
definitely
the
one of them.
gravitational field surrounding the craft, which is the light blue field. That is the distortion in atmosphere that no longer there. The atmosphere around the craft is white. The
Right.
blue is an indication of a completely separated gravitational field. So that's how you know you have an authentic craft. Now, if this was photoshopped or cut into the frame,
Hmm.
the outer edge of that blue would be distinctly separated from the white, which would show that it was manipulated. This is not. This is a natural, smooth flowing gravitational field that is slowly occupying the atmosphere at the same time that it removed it.
Wow. So that is all happening right there in the moment.
That's what that atmospheric distortion surrounding the craft is. It's the presence of a gravitational field that has separated the pressurized atmosphere that we live in. So it takes on a distinct shape and form when you filter it properly. You can detect the gravitational field. And this is how you know when you have a craft. And then you go for other things that you're looking for. Even the microspheres
Yeah.
create a gravitational field that is distinct and it's easy to detect when you filtrate it the right way.
Sure. Perfect, man. So let's break this down. We've gone over the outside, you've gone over the white and the blue lines, which are just clear indications that this is a legit item, right? Um,
Right. What you
people
have
want to
there, that's a
people
game
want to know
changer.
this, yeah. This thing in the middle here now. I joked around and said, "What have you seen in there, Donald Trump?" And you went, "Actually, it's not far off. There is something inside." And I kind of knew there was, but tell the audience what you see because they've seen me analyze this video before.
Okay, so what I see is a concaved craft. So it's got a concave from the bottom sloping inward and then stopping at a point. So if you, right there, that's where the concave ends, where you had your cursor just a second ago, just below the opening of the where the being is sitting. So you can see multiple concaves. The back is white. See the white and the lower lump in the back?
Hmm.
That is because we are having an emitter operating right now, which is creating the gravitational lift and the directional transfer of power. Underneath the front part, you see a small white little, yes, right there. No, back. Go back, 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 right there. That is another emitter. We're catching parts of emitters. And usually the craft contain three emitters that can operate so that they can move this craft, fight the gravity below, create the gravity above, but also take the travel of direction where they need it to go. So they can operate basically they're like opening the atmosphere and sucking themselves forward in any direction. And when you have three emitters going, it causes a severe distortion in the atmosphere. So I see the emitters, but what we're going to focus on is in the middle with a plasma window. So we've got a plasma window there, meaning that's not glass, right? What they somehow they have a field that they use plasma with, which can cause like a glass type effect on a window opening. That is an opening in the side of the craft, which catches your eye immediately because you see the operator within the craft sitting, placing his hands upon a
Yeah.
device in front of him with a
Wow.
bent, with it's more bent. The window, how it kind of curves up like a twisted acorn to the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like a you can see the eyeball here
Yes,
and
that's
the
a
head,
beam. Yeah,
and
that's
then you've
that
got
is not
shoulders and
it's
arms.
not pareidolia. It's not matrixing. That is actually there. That has been I filtered this because I knew I could tell as soon as you sent me the original raw image, something wasn't right in the center. So when you filter it, it pulls in the light where you need it to be. And
Yeah.
as you see, the edge of that window is very bright, which tells you it's an energy field creating it.
Flipping heck.
You see what I'm saying? Go
Yeah, I
around
mean,
the
it's
edge.
so clear now you've done the filtration.
That
Um,
is an energy field causing an opening to the side of the craft so the operator can look out of the craft like a screen almost, but it's a projected screen that protects them. So that is not uncommon in craft that we have seen before.
yeah.
But that is proof there's some type of plasma window to the side of the craft. And I'm not sure if the skin itself dissipates and opens that way and then goes back over.
Or
But
whether
I
we're
do
just getting
know that
straight.
it's open.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you this, the size of this craft isn't just your typical, I'm going to go observe something, we're going to go check out this. I believe there's a transfer, like if a C-130 would be loaded with supplies taken to a location where we would, empty it out. That's what this kind of looks like to me. It would be something that they are moving about things that they need in places, like a cargo ship type craft. Just the way it's set up.
Wow. Wow. Uh, for those that are watching, that I mean, especially Alex who took this, right? Because he always knew that there was something inside there. I told him ages ago, and we did it on the channel. But that now you've done the contrast change, that really brings it all together, right? You're seeing parts of the craft that we need to see. I didn't know that this was emit. I mean, I knew it was some type of energy, right? I've been calling this plasma every
Yeah,
single day that I've seen it.
they're emitters are called. They
Yeah,
emit the field. They also push the craft like without a propulsion. There's no discernible propulsion system other than
sure.
the emitters. The emitters, it's like an invisible energy pushes the craft where it needs to go by opening the atmosphere. So it's an atmospheric distorter. So like we talked about, we're flying. I want to go straight ahead. I'm going to remove all the atmosphere in front of me because
Mhm.
my mind. So I'm in the craft. I want to break it down like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm in the craft. I'm over, let's say I'm over Alberta, Canada, and I have orders to be in Australia. I can get to Australia within seconds. All I got to do is think of where I want to go. The craft already has built-in maps. It knows exactly grids and everything. He projects his thoughts into this with this thing he wears in his hands, and this craft will instantly go. How do you think they went from Tic Tacs for where David Fravor was to 60 miles away to their point that they had to meet
Sure.
up at? Instantly. That's how it works. It's Admiral Byrd said we've encountered an enemy that can go from pole to pole in seconds. Those were his words in his
Yeah.
diary. So this is what they do. This is why you see craft. And the funny thing, the lower they get to the Earth, right? Now they're getting closer to the gravitational field of the planet. They wobble. And that is a fact. The closer they get, it's a wobble. It's their gravitational field fighting our gravitational field, like two magnets with opposite polarized energy. They're going to push away and slide. And that's why the craft sometimes will do this. They will wobble. And that's exactly what the gravitational field is designed to do, to keep that craft from impacting the ground.
Sure. Like two magnets, like you say, repelling each other
Yes.
and making
But
them safer, essentially. What's this on the front here, Ed? Is this
this
what we
looks
spoke about?
this looks to me. Now, I can tell it's an opening. What's in the opening, I'm not sure, but that is quite a large opening. So you got maybe a 12, 15-foot opening in the front, kind of like this is what I see. Okay. Like if you put your hands together, you got a V, which tells me there's cargo in there. That is an opening to place things, big things inside and move them about.
Hmm.
So this looks like a cargo type craft. That opening only serves one purpose: to insert something and to remove something. That serves no other purpose if you're a logical being,
Yeah.
right? So we have to start. We're not dumb. People are
Mm.
not dumb. You just got to start thinking. Yes, they have better technology. Yes, they're more advanced, but things are not uncommon. Even with great technology, you have to do things in a certain way.
Yeah.
You want to move something about, you need something to move something about.
Yeah.
This looks like one of those type craft.
Yeah. And I've always said as well that there are various different types of these hockey puck or barbell, whatever you want to call them, these black objects that we're seeing zipping through. I really
Yeah.
do feel like there's various ones for various reasons. And we've seen like a hatch opening on the back on
Yes.
so many clips. And I've
Me.
mentioned it. I've like, what the hell is this opening? What is it? And now you're giving credibility to all the research that we've already done. And it's refreshing, but not only that, we're learning stuff here. Um,
Right.
and this,
Intel 101. Intel 101.
yeah,
If you can see it and analyze it, they can do the same. You
sure.
think that they don't look at us and go, why is that vehicle looks different from that? So we got a delivery truck. It doesn't look like a passenger car. And if you're an alien, you're going, okay, you start doing logic. Okay, so that's how they move stuff around. Oh, what's this on the water? That boat looks different than that boat. This one's got big guns on it. Why doesn't this one? It's got fishing poles. We need to start thinking like we're supposed to think. They are no different. They design their craft to serve a purpose.
Yeah,
It's not, oh, let's have fun. Hey, you go over there and have a paper mache class and come up with some crazy fucking craft we're going to fly around,
yeah,
right? No, we need specific craft, and they're manufactured just like we do it. So you're going to see duplicate craft all over the planet. What is the pyramid craft that they capture in Russia or above the Pentagon? Giant pyramids. Why do we have pyramids? Why would the craft look like a pyramid on the ground that you can find all over the planet? And now we're starting to see pyramids flying in the sky,
yeah.
right? We got to start using our brain. Everything's used for something different. Every craft you see, the little egg craft, those
Hmm.
are like just little guys flying around doing recon. That's all they are.
That's
They're
crazy.
small. They're intended to do recon work. Every one of them can turn invisible or create clouds so you can't see them.
Mm.
So everything has a purpose. All the orbs, the spheres that we're talking about, we obviously know what they're for now, right? We know that they're watching us, that they birth smaller and smaller and smaller till they come in your home.
Do you know what? And the audience now is screaming. They're screaming because something just went behind you and it's the first time I've seen any kind of dust particle or movement in the whole 3.5 hours that I've done recording with
Oh,
you.
behind me now.
Yeah, and
Well,
you've
that
just
would
gone, and then you've just gone, oh, they enter your home, and I'm sat there smiling because I'm like, yeah, I've just seen something. It could
I
be
got
dust,
chill. I
but I've
shit you
not
not.
seen
I
it.
got chills. I got goosebumps before you even said that. I felt something weird. I almost turned around to see if my wife had walked into the room because the plumber's here right now.
There was
I
something there,
felt a
man.
presence. So that's funny you caught that. That's good. It doesn't bother me,
No,
honestly, because I know what they are. They're not nefarious at all.
no.
They don't want to hurt us. They're watching
I
us.
mean, hey,
And
that
I
could
tell you what,
that could have been a dust particle, right? But this
it
is the
could have been.
first time in all of the video that I've noticed any kind of movement in the background. So
I tell you what, don't we don't want to like take the fact that they can put thoughts into your head and give you a direction. They
mm,
could have been the muses in the day where they wanted people to do certain things. Who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls? Maybe they were inputting. I tell my wife, she will vouch for me. I'll sit there and I'll get like a download and I'll start. I'm an excellent writer, so I start writing all this weird stuff, and I'll write a bunch of stuff, and I have my readers on my channel. They love it, right? I'll have to read it because I don't know what I wrote. She's like, "What is going on?" This has been going on for a couple of years now. I'll just
wow.
start writing out of nowhere. I'll grab my phone at 2 in the morning. I got to do this. I got to do it. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just got to put it down." And I do that, and then I got to stop and read it. And I'll say, "Read that." And she's like, "Where did you come up with that?" I'm like, "I don't know." And that's crazy, right? To me, that's nuts. But it's been going on for a while. It's like a download you get. And like I said, things changed in my life, and I feel like I get downloads from time to time. Like, whoa, where am I getting this info from? How do
Mm,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
And so
man.
I believe that they influence everybody. I think I'm just more apt to detecting it. So
Well,
I think it probably goes on with every human being that these little spheres are putting thoughts and steering you in a direction they want you to go. I think I just
yeah,
pick it up a little bit differently than people.
yeah, yeah. I think you may be just a bit sensitive to it,
Yeah.
and some people are. Some people are. Just so happens you're in a position of authority, in a position where you were hearing things that was pretty remarkable for any normal job, right? Like that's a remarkable thing to go through at your workplace. Um,
Traumatizing.
yeah, and some people say the same thing about me. They're like, "Oh, Rob, it just so happens you're a UFO researcher and you've got all this action outside your window." And I'm like,
No,
"Mate, I didn't write it. I did. They're there because they're there. And I don't know
that's
why,
it.
like you, I just felt like doing something one day and putting a camera there, and it took seconds, and I was like, "What the hell?" So
It's a guidance.
it's the guy. It
You,
must be some sort of guidance. Yeah.
and it's weird because we had a house fire once, right? I'm in bed. It's 2 in the morning, and this is gonna be quick. And I hear as I'm sleeping, "Eddie, get up!" And I opened my eyes, and I thought my wife was messing with me, and she's dead now. But and I looked over, and I'm like, she's sleeping. I laid back down, and I heard, "Eddie, get up!" And I jumped out of my bed. My fucking house is on fire, bro. So whatever woke me up, I saved all my kids. It was crazy.
But it was like,
2005, this happened. And then again, with my wife, the same wife, she was a very bad she overdosed. She was very bad with prescription meds.
right.
And the night she died, I was in bed, and everybody in the house was concerned about her actions. And I was in bed, and I heard, "Hey, get up!" And I jumped out of my bed, and she was on the floor. I thought she was snoring. She had the death rattle going. She had died. So, bro, those kind of things just don't happen.
No.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that that'll happen to everybody, but it happened to me 2 times. And I'll not, and like I said, I'll never be the same ever. There's some crazy shit that's happened in my life that I can't explain.
I'm with you, brother. I'm sorry to hear that. And unfortunately, yeah, with all these stories, it comes with a bit of trauma. Um,
Always.
Eddie, we've got 1 minute left. Perfect, man. Thank you again for coming on, and I'm sure we're going to have you on again because we've got a mountain of evidence to look at, and it's stuff like that, my man. It's stuff like that. People need to see what's up in the skies because what do we need to do? We need to get people to film the skies.
All
Um,
day long. They're above you all day long.
that's the only way we can boycott the government, cut that corner, and just say,
Right.
hey, you know what? We're filming stuff. What's going on?
That's it. This is our world.
Exactly, man. Dude, take care of yourself. Always a pleasure. And I can't wait for our next conversation. I'm sure it's going to be soon.
All right. Stay cool. I know it's hot.
Cheers, bro.